light when I'm doing lessons,
Mhm.
but it can also be the interrogation light if they don't practice.
And you'll know.
And yeah, everybody knows. So it's all good that way. So it's Monday. It's not Wednesday. It's Monday. Because if it were Wednesday, it would be October 1st. And it's still September, friends. It is September 29th. And I'm here with Terry. And we are going to be diving right in to filling up our books. Because I think what greater way to crank out the magical land that is my birthday month than this. Because October is awesome sauce. All right. Let's see what we've got here. Play the current slide. Okay. Now we're going to see if I can get it to do what I want. Screen. Sharing the screen. So it normally, they must have done like a magical update because now things don't look the same. But we're going to make it work. By golly. All right. When I go to play, yes, I want to be able to set up, I want to be able to play the start. Okay, yeah. Okay, but I should be able to. Okay. Well, we're going to see what happens here. Share the screen. Window. Here's this. Here's this. Now, here's where things get to get fun. You're seeing like the PowerPoint before the screen share, right?
I'm seeing the party your way to success.
And you're seeing it still?
Yeah.
Are you seeing it as, if I do it this way, are you seeing it big?
Yes, I am.
Oh my gosh, they did a change on it then. I was looking for some button that I don't have anymore. So this is very exciting.
That means they made it easier.
Made it easier, which I didn't even know until now. Okay, so we're talking about filling our books with appointments. So whether you're scheduling a class or a party, imagine you're writing in your checkbook because a class or party makes everything else happen. Sales, more bookings, regular customers, and precious team members. So we're going to be looking at some tips and tools and lots of options for however you like to work your Mary Kay business. So let's get the party started. So, for people that sometimes don't know what our acronyms are and things like that, a booking, as far as what I'm considering a booking, any appointment where you're dealing with a person who could potentially either spend money or join your team. That's basically what you're dealing with. So 3 faces around the table counts as a party. It's the hostess plus 2. But Mary Kay always recommended 4 to 5 faces. I'm a big fan of 5 because you could be at one end of the table and then the table's surrounding you. That's just a Danny preference, but however you guys want to do it. A double facial, of course, is 2 faces. Then you can have all different kinds of parties. And I want you to wrap your brain around not all of them, because I think what happens is when we see all the options, we freak out. There's spa parties, there's brush clinics, there's advanced color, there's bridal party, there's a pedicure party, there's a mom and daughter party, there's glass skin facials, there's hydra sessions, there's the sofa social, all the different kinds of options that are out there. So basically, what I want you to do is wrap your brain around 2 to 3 types of appointments that get you excited. Okay. And we'll talk more about this here in a couple minutes, but kind of get your brain in that mindset. And it's okay if you only want to pick one. because you need to get you got to get your sea legs. So you want to practice one type of party. Totally fine. Okay. Attitude is everything, which we know. Smiling on the phone because people can tell. We want to be enthusiastic. We want to be poised and confident, honest and sincere, using scripts, which are so important, having your plan and a goal. Also, you want to make sure that you're flexible because, my friends, sometimes you'll reach everybody and sometimes you'll reach no one. And having a plan. So, I'm booking my perfect starter power start. I'm setting up my holiday product previews. I'm setting up my glass skin facial test panels. What is it that you're working towards? And then what I want you to do is highlight your date book with time slots you can have available so you can give 2 choices of dates at a time. Okay. It's, evenings or weekends, or what's better for you, Saturday or Sunday. If you've only got the weekends to work with because you've got a job that's breaking you, in half, and you're exhausted and you're just like, I just need sleep during the week. You're lucky I'm here, woman. Then change up your options, right? Have your scripts ready and a list of objections even ready so that you can see what the objection is and be able to address the objection. I like to, instead of saying objections, it's addressing their concerns. Objection sounds like a little negative, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we want to leave a teaser message if you get their voicemail. And that's something really simple, like, oh my gosh, Terry, I am so stinking excited. We've got some big things in Mary Kay, and I wanted to share them with you. And if you give me a call back before I call you back, I'll be giving you a free gift just for giving me a call. It could be a sample. It could be, whatever you want, or however you want to do it. But TNT is today, not tomorrow. I love that. Getting your business off to a bang. You've got a perfect start, which is 15 faces in 15 days, or a power start, which is 10 parties or 30 faces in 30 days. 5 parties is the minimum there with 3 people in attendance, right? But what would happen if you had 3 parties of 5 people each? There's your perfect start with more people and less time involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
But basically, consultants who can accomplish a power start, at that point, your trajectory gets changed in your business, and then you're ready to successfully build upon that power start for long term. Scripts give you the words that are proven to work, even if the words don't necessarily sound like you. Okay. Practice makes excellence, not perfection. It's okay to stumble. It's okay to stammer. We try not to do too many ums, but it's really important to practice saying the words out loud so that the more you do it, the easier it's going to sound. Okay. You're selling the appointment first. You're not worrying about the product because the product is going to sell itself. And you're not worrying about the opportunity because you can slip that in the course of the appointment itself, and it's going to work out fine. If you're going to vary from the scripts, you're only allowed to do it slightly. Danny's going to do a little finger pointing if you do too much, because it's one thing to make it sound like you. It's another thing to completely take the key words that help the appointment stick. Okay. So you want to keep things as tight as you can. Keep going through the awkward stage. And the more you do it, the more confidence you will gain. Okay. So just know that we've all been there. We've all been nervous. We've all not wanted to pick up the phone because it's 2,000 pounds. Did you know? Mm-hmm. It's really heavy and we don't want to pick it up because it's just hard. Okay. Now, let's talk about the different kinds of scripts. This is one that is a great one for people who are new in their business, or if they want to jumpstart their business or anything like that. Okay. That's the perfect start, power start script here on the left. It's, hi, Terry, this is Danny. I'm really excited about something. Do you have a quick minute? Great. I just started my own business teaching skincare and makeup application with Mary Kay. It's part of my training to hold 5 to 10 practice parties with select training hostesses. And I'd be honored to have you be one of my first 5 to help me reach my goal. And then just a little bit of extra. I'll be pampering you and a few of your friends or family members to free facial and makeover. And you could take out the makeover, just free facial. And as my thanks, you'll receive a special gift. Grab your calendar and let's set a date. Which would be better for you, the beginning of the week or the end of the week? That's basically assuming the yes. Okay. If they say no, it's okay. It's totally fine. Now, let's say that you're not brand new and you've got a whole bunch of other thoughts here. I'm so excited about a decision I've made. I've decided to, maybe this month you're going to raise money for the Mary Kay Foundation, which supports research into the cancers that affect women, as well as working to eradicate domestic violence, because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month coming up. You're going to promote yourself to mid-management because you want to get in that red jacket. You want to blitz my business this week, or you want to take my director's challenge. You can blame me anytime you want. What I need to do is get opinions of 15 women on my presentation and products over the next 2 weeks, or hold 20 classes this month. Would you be opposed to? The wording here is really great. So if you can see that, I can also send it as a screenshot. So you guys can, I'm getting it in here. Hi, Phyllis. Can you guys still see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take a screenshot of it too, because that way I can just plop it to you guys and you have it, because I think sometimes this is helpful. Well, I mean, it's always helpful, but let me talk to you about this. This is the 21-day challenge. And I know we've talked about this before, but this sets up the how often do you want to follow up, or how often do you follow up without feeling guilty for following up? Okay. So we've talked about some of the stats here. So I'm going to stop screen sharing just for a second. Did I stop? Did I stop screen sharing? Now I did.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's talk about this for a second. So what I want to show you, the stat on reaching out to people. And I don't know if I've still got it handy here, but oh, there it is. I did keep my follow-up stats. 48% of this is in the business world with consultants. This isn't just Mary Kay. 48% never follow up. 25% make a second attempt at contact and stop. I'm going to share this so you guys can see it. 12% make 3 contacts and stop. 10% make more than 3 contacts. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. Pause. Okay. So you had that 48% never follow up, 10% make more than 3 contacts. Now here's all the cool stuff. 2% of the sales are made on the first contact. 3% of sales are made on the second contact. 5% of sales are made on the third contact. 10% are made on the fourth contact, and 80% of sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact.
Wow.
So that doesn't mean call the same person 12 days in a row. I don't think.
Never know.
I'm pretty sure I'm right. But yeah, so now let me go back to what this is and how I organize it so that you can kind of get a hankering for this, because you guys, this is really big, especially anybody that has leads and stuff. Why did I do it from the beginning? Oh, here we go. This is set up so that you can do voicemails and texts to people. Okay. What the idea is that you would come up with a list of 30 names. Okay. And you do 10 on each day of the first 3 days. Okay. So if you've only got 10 people, great. Then you're going to be making phone calls every couple days. So on day 1, let's pretend day 1 is tomorrow on Tuesday. Hi, Phyllis, it's Danny. I recently started my own business teaching skincare and makeup with Mary Kay, and I'm so excited. I've selected 10 women in my life to receive the ultimate facial package and $25 gift cards. And yes, I've selected you. Please call me back ASAP so I can fill you in on the details. That's the voicemail. Then after you hang up with her, you send the text. Hi, Phyllis. I left a voicemail earlier today and wanted to make sure you received it. You were on the top of my list for a free pampering session and gift card. If I don't hear back from you, I'll follow up in 2 days. Okay. You're telling her if you don't hear back, you'll follow up in a couple days. So that was day 1. That's Tuesday. Wednesday is 2. Thursday is 3. Friday is 4. So on Friday, hi, Phyllis. It's Danny with Mary Kay again. Just wanted to follow up with you regarding the facial package and gift card that I have ready for you. It'll be fun girl time, and it'll help me jumpstart my business. Please connect with me when you can. I know you're super busy, so I'll follow up again in a couple of days if I don't hear from you. And then again, after you hang up, you send the text. Okay. So Friday was day 4. Monday would be day 7, right?
Yes.
So day 7 is your last day. Hey, Phyllis, it's Danny following up one last time regarding your facial package. If I don't hear back from you, I'll assume that you're just super busy and follow up with you again in a couple of months. And you send the text again, and I'll follow up with you in a few months. So right now is the end of September, October, November, December. At the end of December, you follow up with her again. And that would be a perfect time for New Year, New You makeovers, holiday makeovers, like, for New Year's, whatever, you glass skin, hydra session, whatever you guys want to call it. Now, let's pretend that I call Phyllis and she answered. Then at the bottom, that's the stuff that's all in red. Okay. And then you jump down. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I reached you live. And then you jump back up and use the script that you're using. And then at the so I'm setting up my appointments for next week. And I was wondering what works better for you, afternoon or evening. Offer 2 choices and then do preliminary coaching right there. Confirm all the things. Ask what she'd like to improve about her skin, talk about how she can get more bang for her buck when she invites friends, all those kinds of things. Okay. If she wants to fly solo, that's okay too, by the way. Okay. This would be for a new consultant calling friends and family. Now, if you're a seasoned consultant, I use the green one the most. Okay. Because I'm not new anymore. But you can change it up. If you don't want to have it be ultimate facial package and $25 gift cards, it could be to receive a glass skin facial package, a Sofa Social package, whatever it is that you're wanting to work on for the next 90 days, let's say, that would be it. I'd be talking about skincare of some sort, whether it's glass skin facials, because that's using repair sets and all that kind of stuff. And at this time of year, people are looking at their skin and not liking what they see because summer and sun got back to them. Okay. But there's your scripts for seasoned consultants. If you got referrals from customers, if you're playing any kind of referral game at your appointments, and that's one of the things that you can do. If you follow the flip chart in your starter kit, in your Pro Start, it's got like a referral kind of game of the beauty of friendship. What I like to do is have them write down names and phone numbers of people that they would like to have be pampered. Did you have a good time? Well, then do you know anybody who would like to have a good time? And tease them a little bit and say, they've got to be real names and real phone numbers, because I've had people give me completely false information, and that's not cool. And, if they do 5 names, they get a half price item, glamour item of their choice. So that would be primer on out. And if they give you 10 names and numbers of real people, then they get a glamour item of their choice for free. And you could say after foundation if you wanted, because then you're talking about 18 is the most expensive thing unless they pick a lipstick, so 20. So you could say after foundation. However you guys want to decide that's up to you. But then when you're calling people, so let's say I'm calling Terry. Hi, Terry, this is Danny with Mary Kay. You actually don't know me, but Phyllis said This was the best way to reach you. She was gifted with gift cards that included complimentary facials and color makeovers and wanted one of them to be sent to you. Contact me ASAP so I can fill you in on the details. If I don't hear back from you, I'll follow up in a few days. Get it? The rotation's happening. If you met somebody that you were just chit-chatting with, this warm chatter lead, or it could be like if you're working a booth and you were talking to them at the booth, that kind of thing. That's a warm chat lead, okay? Equipped with everything there to give you words to say. And then if you've got cold leads, these are people that you've met or you got names from and either you never called them or it's been a long time since you've called them. It kind of gets the whole ball rolling, and it's okay. A lot of people have lots and lots of cold leads, and that's okay. Okay. So these are kinds of bonus ideas that you can use with referral names. Okay. And I'm going to send this to you too. I like it when you can send a picture of you with the person so they know that you're real and that you're really friends with that customer. Okay. And if you've got a holiday coming up that you can address it with, hey, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, in honor of Halloween, in honor of Danny's birthday, in honor of Thanksgiving, whatever you've got coming up there. Okay. Just lots of different ideas there on how you can modify it. And then it's really important to remember that with the gift card, she doesn't get it unless she shares it with 2 or more friends. You could give her something else if you like, if she just wants to do it by herself. Okay. And then when you do schedule her, make sure she doesn't have another consultant. It's important to do that. I have a story from a couple weeks ago. I'll tell you about it in a minute. But turning a facial into a class or a party, Phyllis, it's just as easy for me to give you a facial as it is to facial you and a couple of friends. This also puts me in a position to give you free products too. Doesn't that sound great? Who do you know that would enjoy some pampering time? Okay. That spins it. And if she doesn't want to, and she digs her heels in and says, I just want it to be you and me, that's fine. But it gets her brain thinking, maybe I'd like some free stuff, right? And then if they don't want to pick an exact date because of their work schedule, this is what you do. To avoid playing phone tag, let's do it this way. Let's set a tentative date. And if something comes up, we can always call me and we reschedule. And how would the first of the week or the last of the week work better for you? Okay. And you say, I'll check back with you in a couple of days and we'll go from there. Okay. Objections are normal. And I think it's important that you know that they're coming and kind of be excited and pumped, right? When Danny was a new consultant, she'd hear the objection and say, okay. It's true. But you want to listen and affirm her. Don't tell her that she's silly. Don't tell her that she's not busy. Don't tell her that she's allergic, that she's not allergic. Recognize that she just needs more info and put it in perspective for her versus trying to overcome her wrong thinking. Okay. She's not wrong. It's just how she's feeling and thinking. If she says she's too busy, I know exactly what you mean. It seems like time just seems flying by. Do you ever feel like you don't get any me time? What if I treat you and 2 or 3 of your friends to a 1-hour spa session? I'd love to do that for you. Okay. Then she might come up with, well, gosh, Terry, I use Brand X. Hey, that's great. It's obvious that you're investing time and money to take care of your skin. Let me ask you, do you feel like you're getting the results you want for the price you're paying? I would love to take 45 minutes to show you the #1 brand in the US for the 3rd year in a row and get your opinion. I can share with you how much money you can save. Because a lot of times if they're using a super high-end product and they try the repair and they see the price point, that you've just got a new repair customer. Okay? I tried Mary Kay and it broke me out. And it's important to ask these questions, you guys. And I always do the Rebecca Evans hand on my chest the minute they say that, because it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. If you don't mind me asking, what kind of problem did you have? Was it, an allergic reaction with itchiness and redness, or did you break out with blemishes? Did your consultant work with you on the follow-up to address the situation? Oftentimes the consultant isn't, if she's not well trained, they can misinformate. Really? Misinformulate. There we go. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Products, which can be disastrous. Were you able to take advantage of our money back guarantee? Since we've got cutting edge new products, I'd love to have the chance to make it right for you. You can bring along the old product and I'll give you credit for that. Now, I wouldn't do that unless it's been less than a year. Okay? Because people were like totally abusing the money back guarantee and like something they bought 10 years ago and tried to return it.
Oh.
And it's like, what? And so the company now they have a stipulation that it's within a year. You have to return it within a year.
Yeah.
You know, because at that point, if you haven't tried it or whatever, that's on you. You know, if they're allergic, all the questions. If they're nervous about it, talk about the sofa social. That can go on the back of their hand. They won't even have to worry about their face.
Right.
I don't wear makeup. That's perfect. Now, you don't want to say, well, you need to. Don't say that. Don't say that. You might be surprised to know that Mary Kay is the leading developer of basic skincare products. I'd really love to get your opinion of skincare. We're not even going to talk about the glamour. Okay. What I have found is if they give you like 3 objections, it's the third one. You know, and it could be, I don't have enough money. I'm, you know, whatever. Now these are objections that you might get when you're talking to people about the business opportunity. I don't have time. I'm not the sales type. I don't wear makeup. I'm too shy. I don't know anybody. I need to talk to my husband. That's my favorite. If she has a bunch of objections and you can't get her to say yes or no, there's a really cool thing down here. You know, may I ask you a question? Do you think you're just scared? Well, what's the very worst thing that would happen to you? And then wait for her to answer. And do you want to know what I think? I think that the worst thing that could happen for you is that you save 50% off on your products for the rest of your life. Does that scare you? I mean, that takes away all the fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And those are just ones to kind of file away. They're printable. I think I've got them in random places. I can send them your way. But they're kind of just ones to kind of keep in your hip pocket to think about. You know, when they say they need to talk to their hubby, you know, I'll say, well, what'll he say? You know, and if he says he'll say to do whatever I want, okay, cool. If he says he won't want me to do it, a lot of times I'll invite hubbies with the potential consultant to come over and like it'll be a Jeff and Danny chat with them so that the hubby can ask Jeff questions. And that ends up being kind of cool because he'll talk about what he sees from us. So, you know, you're in the people business. So this is important to remember. Some will, some won't. So what? Keep going. And your goals are never determined by someone else's choices. And I love this quote from Mary Kay. It was make every day count, make every hour count, make every minute count, and don't stop until you've exercised your full potential, realized your impossible dream, and fulfilled your total destiny to become the person that you and only you are capable of being. Achieving success is a daily process. Truly, it's like, let's get your list of wins ready to go, right? And so now we're going to stop sharing. Hi, friends.
Oh.
And let's talk about what would be like a big, exciting thing to happen for you to start October. October is a big month. There's 31 days in October.
I know.
And it's the official kickoff to all the things that are Christmassy. And I love it because, you know, everything's in full gear to, you know, adopt a grandparent can be just totally launched. You could do chemo care packs if you wanted to go that route for breast cancer awareness for October. Lots of different options that you have. Okay. And I know that like a lot of times the confused mind does nothing. So what I want you to formulate are what kinds of appointments excite you. Does virtual excite you? Awesome. Does color theory excite you? Does glass skin excite you? Sofa socials, standard skincare, holiday product preview, just kind of in the line of things. Just think through what when we mention it, you're kind of like, ooh, yeah. Those are the appointments that you want to be excited about. And it doesn't matter if you know how to do them or not. We learn how to do them. Okay. So here's my story about my friend Tamika, who I met earlier this month, or right at the end of last month. I can't remember. I met her. And I sent her a pamper pack and we did a FaceTime. And she had mentioned when I first met her that she had a friend who was like a personal use consultant in Minnesota. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. Well, then, you need to talk to her and ask her questions about what's coming out new. This is when we were talking the very first time before I even sent her a pamper pack. Because then I asked her, I said, when was the last time you had a facial with her? And she goes, I don't even know. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to send you a pamper pack. We're going to play together and I'm going to tell you what you need to shop with from her. And so we did, we had the charcoal mask on for her treatment. So it was a Miracle Set strip and a charcoal mask. And when the charcoal mask was on, I said to her, so talk to me about your friend. Has she ever talked to you about maybe doing this? This is something that you might be interested in doing? And she goes, she's never talked to me about it. And I said, okay. And I said, so let me ask you, what questions do you have for me about it? Because I already heard about her and she's an empty nester and she's got time and blah, blah, blah. And her husband would be excited, all the things, right? And she's like, well, I think I could be really good at this. I said, that's awesome. I said, so here's the deal. You need to call her and you need to tell her that you'd like to sign up. And if she's not interested in recruiting you because she's truly wanting only the discount, then I would be honored to have you on my team. But you need to go with her first and ask her. And she was like, oh my gosh, Danny, that's so great. You're so kind, blah, 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 blah. I said, that's how it rolls. I said, Mary Kay consultants are like husbands. You can have more than one, just not at the same time. I said, and it's one thing to take care of an emergency Mary Kay thing. I said, but we don't do that. We don't steal people from each other. And so I said, I'm going to reach out from you in a couple of days and find out what that you talked to your friend. So I reached out and she goes, you are not going to believe this. I said, what? She goes, she's a freaking sales director. And then I said, well, then you have to sign up with her. You just have to. There's nothing about that. She's a sales director. I guarantee you she would want you on her team. And there was that moment where I just kind of went,
damn.
But here's the thing I know is that the blessing is right around the corner. Like somebody else is going to be ready to sign right around the corner. And I think we make it too scary. And I think we make it too much information. And, some people like Danny McCracken signed up to get her products at cost. That was all it was ever going to be initially. Yeah. And so I just want you to kind of it's okay. It's okay. So now I'm going to show you, I told Terry about this, Phyllis, but my birthday's next month, as I've alluded to.
Yes.
And the company always sends sales directors presents for their birthday.
Right.
And some years they're great. Like I've got a plate. I've had bracelets and earring sets. I've had lots of things, right? So I get this box in the mail. And I felt like it's a little early. My birthday is not for 3 weeks from tomorrow.
That's a pretty box.
Pretty box, right? And I had someone in my director world who's a few months ahead of me. I knew what it was. I got my Happy Birthday Fabulous from Ryan Rogers.
Nice.
So that was very nice. I was born to stand out.
Yeah.
Special.
Very true.
Then I have this here. It's a Happy Birthday Beautiful and Mary Kay here on the top. But now on the inside, This is where we go. OMK. It's Mary Kay's bathtub. The heart. It's a replica
Oh
of her heart
my gosh.
and so it's just a trinket holder, I'm sure, but I'm taking it out of here. There we go. And I just tried to hurt my hand. That really hurt. Okay, but there you go.
That
That's
is too
cute.
cute.
Isn't that adorable? And I said to Ainsley, I go, what am I supposed to do with this? And she goes, maybe like put your rings and stuff in there. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a
Yes.
good idea. But I was like, oh, great, something to dust. It's Mary Kay. I think it's so great. But yeah, it's so cute, you guys. And I just love it. So I just wanted to share that with you because that's what I got for my birthday from Mary Kay. And I wanted to also tell you, if you have not done the Skin Analyzer app in a while, or I'll take you one better, if you have upgraded your phone recently and your camera is now better than it used to be, you need to take the Skin Analyzer app again.
Yeah, I should.
Because I'm still oily combo as far as what I put down, and it put me on all repair.
Wow.
Interesting.
And I was like, what are you talking about? My skin. What is happening? I was like so upset. But I got the repair set out. I busted it out. But I added in, like I'm still doing my serum C+E because that's for everything. And then your everything serum is for your triangle of youth. So you're putting that on top. It's all going to be okay.
Yes, it will be. Okay.
I know it is. But there was that moment of, what? I may have been a little hostile for a couple minutes. I was like, this can't be right. And then I was like, no, it's probably right. Because here's what will happen. I'll use repair for a while. My skin's going to get better because it repairs your face. And then it'll say I belong back on 3D. Or not 3D, but Miracle Set. And I'll be like, huh. And then I will not be deceived. I will not go back to Miracle Set. I'm going to stay on repair till I die.
There you go.
Okay.
And then I'll look 25. I'm kidding.
Hey, you never know.
Hey, it'd be all right, right? Oh, my goodness, friends. So it's the 29th of September. We have 1 day left. What could be a win that you could have in your business that would happen tomorrow? Thoughts?
I'm putting in an order tomorrow.
Or,
I am.
well, that's exciting. That's a win.
Yeah.
Phyllis, what are you going to do tomorrow?
Text some customers on my lunch break.
Yeah,
Like I always do.
Okay, so this is like 100% full disclosure that I've gotten, I was invited to help out at some of the schools for the oboe stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is good and bad. It's good because it opens me up to meeting a whole bunch more people, right? Because whenever you feel like you're stuck, it's like, what can I do to get me to meet more people? So there's that. But the other part is, it's like, okay, but when am I going to make calls? When am I going to do my job? Because this is my job, right? It has been amazing because I carve out exactly in these 45 minutes. This is my call time. In these 2 hours, this is my call time. It's almost like a little flashback when I was teaching, but not so stressful. Because my teaching time would be like your lunch 15 minutes. Who can I text? I remember doing that on my prep. I remember doing it like in the bathroom, like sit there and do that. I remember after school, like if I didn't have like something for a while, I'd put a sign on my office door that said, "Unless you're bleeding out your eye sockets, do not knock." And then at the end, it would be like hugs and kisses, Mrs. McCracken. You know, it was that, but that was like literally, do not touch that door. Do not. But it's kind of like just that was what I would do because I had to, right?
Right.
And I know it's like the had to versus get to, and you got to change that thinking. So like in this situation, I mean, it's cool because, you know, so today I was helping these little beginners, right? And we talk about like their mouth. It has to look a certain way when they're playing, right? And sometimes they put too much reed in their mouth, sometimes not enough reed in their mouth. And two of them had mentioned that they don't have a mirror nearby in their bedroom when they practice. So I was like, I've got 17,000 Mary Kay mirrors.
Oh,
So I brought 4 Mary Kay mirrors with me to school. And so I passed them out to the 4 kids who I also teach privately, but they're the class of little beginners I was working with today. And the teacher was in the classroom because it was her prep. So I'm in there with these kids making noise on her prep. And the kids were like, these are so cool. And I said, yeah, these are from my job. This is from my real job, like the thing that I do. And one of the kids goes, what do you do? And one of the other kids goes, she makes women feel beautiful.
Oh,
Because she's been to the house, she's seen the boxes. I mean, they've all seen the boxes. They know what I do, you know. So it was just comedy gold. She makes women feel beautiful. And the teacher just started laughing. She goes, oh my gosh, that's so great.
It's so funny.
So yeah, so that's a kind of a nice idea. So here's a little tidbit I learned today on a call with Diana Sumter is if you are wanting, let's pretend you want 8 parties. And let's pretend you don't know a single person at the moment. And you're like, how in the world will these 8 parties materialize? They're going to materialize because you've talked to, in one way, shape, or form, 80 people. Okay. Now we're talking like warm chatters, referrals, any kind of anything, like a booth, you know, chatted with them, you know, whatever. They could be current customers too. It's fine. But the idea would be that you're reaching out to those 80 people. And from those 80 people, you get the number of bookings and, you know, ghosted and whatnot. You get the number of bookings, and then the number of bookings are what gets held from there. And basically, it's a direct connection to if you, let's say you want two parties this month. Well, then there needs to be 20 people that you talk to get the bookings that then get to have 2 parties be held. Make sense?
Mhm.
yes, yeah,
All you really need to get the ball rolling is a handful of people, 10 people. And that's that 21-day challenge is the start of the whole thing. If you had 30 people and you rotated through that, guaranteed you're going to have bookings at the end of that.
right,
And then a great opportunity to reach back out to them in 3 months. And then as you're adding new people into your arsenal, you put them in. And it helps also when you're trying, like when you're thinking, oh, I've talked to that person so many times. Well, go back and see really how often did you talk to them or text them or reach out. It just in your head, maybe you did. But if you haven't done it 12 times in the span of a chunk of time, then you're not nagging, right? I really feel like if we are thinking we're nagging, we're not, you know?
yeah,
And just kind of, if you just keep the activity in front of you, it becomes a little less personal in a good way. Like it doesn't hurt when they don't pick up. It doesn't hurt if they say no because you're just getting through the list.
right,
Okay. Get through the list. So if you're looking at 10 people, let's say, to get that one booking, well, then it becomes okay. If at that one booking, I'm going to work like a dog to make sure that every single one of them book.
yeah,
Now, all of a sudden, that party of 4 became 4 future bookings. And then you can explode into something. But the key is to get the bookings first, because we got to get the bookings. So what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, in addition to wrapping up the audaciously stupendous September, is seeing what all we can get booked up for the magical land of October. And there's a couple Saturdays that are going to be coming up that we're going to be, we've been invited by Linda, who's my senior, your grandma's. There's a location, it's a coffee shop over on, is it Windmill in Eastern, I think. Basically, it's kind of like the one, it's smaller, but it's like the one that I would do down in Henderson for skincare and stuff like that. All you got to do is buy a coffee. There's no charge for us to use the space.
Oh, nice.
And so, but she's got to get it booked. And once we have it booked, there's a couple of Saturdays, and I'm all for neutral locations. So it's like we can use those kinds of places, like Grouchy John's. You can do it, which is over on Maryland Parkway and Wigwam, but you don't have like an exclusive space. But you could get a table,
Right.
take over a table and do something there. But it's not necessarily super quiet or super intimate. So I wouldn't necessarily do and facials there. I would do maybe like holiday product preview.
Right.
Caves
Yeah.
noisy, but that's perfectly lovely. But and there's also some stuff on the west side. But keep your ears and antennas still looking for places, because I'm a big fan of free or very low cost. And I bet you, even Terry, I was thinking about Eco Electric. I bet you if I said to Chris, hey, would there be a weekend we could borrow the space?
100%.
I think he'd say yes. So I might have to buy some electrical stuff. I'll buy an outlet. I don't know.
Just make him pretty. It's okay.
Oh my gosh. His picture looked great. Did he like his pictures?
Did you see the funny one though?
No. I have to get him to show me. I wasn't there Thursday. I'll get him to show me.
Oh yeah.
It'll be good. I'm excited.
It's
But yeah,
Christine, let me tell you.
he's such a good egg. He's done being president as of Thursday. It's being handed. I think it's going to Garrick, who's our state farm man. Because I got the Danny, if Garrick says no, will you do it? And I was like, yeah, but please get Garrick to say yes.
No, but
Because I've been president a lot.
Yeah.
And
I thought you guys were doing a female. Or
we were thinking about Leslie, but a lot of times she has to leave early and stuff. So it's like, okay. We want somebody that gets there early, and it's more about the getting there early part.
Yeah.
And Garrick's usually the first one there, like ridiculously so. So it's good. But anyway, I digress.
Sorry.
No. So what's my challenge for you for this week? I would love for you guys to get some bookings. So what I want to know is what number of bookings would be a good goal that I can say, like come around Thursday, hey, how's your booking calls going? How are you doing on your bookings? So Phyllis, how many bookings would you like?
Two.
Okay. Two's
For the
good.
next week, this week alone, I'm working 7 days straight because I would come to Linda's car thing on Saturday, but I'm working at the stadium.
Well, you need to do the stadium. The stadium's a lot of fun.
And it's Paul McCartney.
Well, then you get to do that and have
It's
fun.
gonna be packed.
Yeah. That's going to be awesome. Very cool. Terry, what about you, my friend? What would be a good number?
Okay, so because I'm still like getting there, wrapping my head around everything.
Oh, I know.
I'm gonna do 1.
I think 1 is great.
So
okay. Strong arm him.
Yeah.
Put him in a headlock.
that'll be great.
Because you can do it. You can do it. I mean, the thing is, every single one of us have been afraid, and I want you to do it scared.
Oh yeah.
Do it scared. There's going to be a book that we're doing at the fall retreat that we're kind of like doing little excerpts of, and you don't need to get the book, Terry, but it's the book that's Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I have that book.
It is such a great book. And so basically,
Yes.
we've got 12 directors that are going to be training out of there, and it's going to be super great. It says dynamic techniques. I'm going to say we're not using tasers or anything. We're just going to feel the fear and do it anyway.
I read that book years ago.
I feel like it does not go out of style.
No.
It does not. It's for sure. So I'm excited to see how this month shapes up and ships together and all that good stuff. And I'm excited for October because it is the greatest month of the year. And
Wonder why.
I don't know. My sisters have their birthdays in October as well. So we have a good time. So we have Sabo Sister Spirit Week.
Oh, there you go.
That gets kicked off with my older sister. No, my little sister's is first, but yeah, hers is the 15th. My older sister's is the 16th. Mine's the 21st. My dad's birthday's January 22nd. Do the math.
Wow. Brown chicken, brown cow.
That's right. Yeah, I was in health class in 9th grade when I figured that out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's like, no.
Yes.
And with that, my friends, I hope that I have entertained you enough
Yes, you have.
and you have learned enough to go out there and get your learning on, because I know that we can have a great, great next 90 days in addition to these last day and a half. So let's go out there and make it happen, friends. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I love you guys.
Love you
Bye,
too.
Annie.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Phyllis.
Bye, Terry.